Hey everybody, Falcon Genie here, and I got something to say. And oh boy, it's a doozy. And yes, it's a huge doozy, everyone. And I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it good. I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it good. And some people aren't gonna like what I'm gonna have to say, but I don't care, it has to be said. Because a lot of people have been staying in the dark for far too long, and it needs to be said, everyone. Because for far too long, people have been living in ignorance and they think they can just somehow get away with ignorance. Well, guess what? Ignorance isn't bliss. It is not. In fact, it's horrible. And what's it about, everyone? Western values and how much of a scam it is, and it really doesn't work in real life. And I'm going to give you the reasons why Western values in real life doesn't work. Because, everyone, Western values, it doesn't work. It hasn't worked, and it has never worked. In fact, you were betrayed by Western values because Western society and Western values, it doesn't work. They should do it. Anyways, everyone, I see it all the time. I see it all the time. You see these grifters on the right wing of YouTube and how they keep spewing their so-called Western values, how it made America. But in reality, these so-called Western values, they hold no standing. The arguments are very hollow, and it's easily torn apart. Because if these so-called Western values worked, we wouldn't have any domestic problems in America, but reality exists for a reason. Because, everyone, if Western values worked, how come we're having a lot of problems here in the U.S., especially what the radical left does and all that other stuff? Even this is coming from a person who's apolitical, even though I don't mention about politics. Because, everyone, has Western values really worked? No, it hasn't. Because in reality, everybody, just before I go on, let's make some music, everyone. Because, everyone, where was I? Because in reality, everybody, these Western values, they don't work. It may have a claim to have less government and more people, and it talks about self-policing, but in reality is most people can't self-police, because if self-policing worked, people would have self-policed already, but majority of people, they don't self-police because the way that humanity is, the way that human nature is, they're incapable of self-policing. And if self-policing were the case, then why do we have law enforcement? Why do we have law enforcement? So they can police the streets and not let get crime out of control like we see today. These Western values are nothing but a scam, just lies by the left and right wings of the political duopoly. Because, everyone, why do we have a law enforcement? Because, everybody, if people could self-police, which would be great, but we don't live in an idealistic world. Ideally, Western values, ideally, it would be the ideal solution, but not many people are going to be receptive to that message, everyone. Because, everybody, not everyone's going to be receptive to that message. Because, everyone, not everybody's going to be receptive to that message when it comes to like self-policing or people can regulate themselves. Not everyone can do that, everyone. Not everybody can do that. Because, everyone, not everyone can self-regulate. Not everybody can self-regulate, everybody. Not everyone can do that. Anyways, because I'm coming down on my third part, on my other arguments, free speech. Because when it comes to free speech, everyone, do we really have free speech? We do, but with limits. Why do we have like defamation laws, libel laws, copyright laws? Exactly, because free speech isn't really free, everyone. Because free speech, it's not really free. It isn't. And not only that, if platforms don't like your politics, they can boot you off their platform. Which is why, everyone, go to different platforms. Don't rely on YouTube. Don't just rely on YouTube, because one day they can rug pull you and shut everything down. Why? Because they can. But these people, these so-called crazy people, for so long have been doing all this stuff for years. The shoe is now on the other foot, and all these crazies going through cancel culture, like how we had to go through since the Biden years, it's now being done to them. They created, because the left, they created cancel culture. They created this demonic force. Because of the left, they created this demonic force. Now it's being right back towards them. They created this demonic culture. Now it's being hidden back towards them. Hey, you reap what you sow. 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 I'm just saying, everybody. These people, when you come up with these kind of stuff just to ban people because you don't like some other people's opinions, all because you get butthurt because people have a different opinion, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. Anyways, let's make some second music, everyone. Let's make it. And that's how you do it, everybody. That is how you make great-ass music. Anyways, where was I, everyone? Oh yeah, Western values. Western values, nothing but a scam. They don't work, because Western civilization betrayed you all. You don't have freedom, like you so-called perceive to have. You don't have free speech, because if a company doesn't like your politics, or even being apolitical, they can shut your speech down. And that's why, everyone, you must go to different platforms if you want to succeed, because success is not just on YouTube. It's in different platforms. You can't just, because if, let's just say if things go wrong on one platform, you can always go to another platform. Because everyone, if you want to succeed in the social media space, because YouTube is not a good platform, everyone, because YouTube is a horrible platform, because YouTube has not been, let's just say they haven't been so receptive when it comes to freedom of speech, because YouTube, not a good platform. Horrible platform, horrible moderation, horrible platform, horrible AI. And you know their AI, it doesn't understand context. You clearly know YouTube's AI bots, it does not understand context. It clearly doesn't understand context. It clearly does not understand context. Because if it did, then people's videos wouldn't get removed all of a sudden just like that. So this is why you can't rely on YouTube, everyone. Just don't rely on YouTube, because one day they can all rug pull your channel. YouTube can one day rug pull your channel just like that. So I'm just saying, everybody, success is on other platforms. It's not on YouTube. And monetization, go to different platforms. Because YouTube's standards has gone a lot more unrealistically high. That's why, everyone, go to different platforms. Go to different platforms. Go to different platforms, everyone. Go to different platforms. Go to different platforms, everybody. Go to different platforms. I cannot stress this enough. Because YouTube is not a good platform. That's pretty much all I have to say, everyone. Anyways, everybody, if you like this video, like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, fight this degenerate agenda.